Imagine waking up every morning, knowing that no matter what happens today, your mind belongs to you. Someone may criticize you, plans may fail, people may disappoint you, and life may surprise you in ways you never expected. But inside, you remain steady. You don't break. You don't lose yourself. This is what it means to become mentally unbeatable. It doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you become stronger than the problems you face. Most people spend years trying to control everything around them. They want people to understand them. They want everyone to like them. They want life to go exactly as planned. But the truth is, you will never control everything outside of you. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control the weather, the economy, or every unexpected situation. The only thing that truly belongs to you is your mind. That is why your greatest battle is never with the world. It is with the voice inside your own head. Every single day, your mind is talking to you. Sometimes it tells you that you're not good enough. Sometimes it reminds you of your failures. Sometimes it fills you with fear before anything bad has even happened. If you never learn to control that voice, it will control your life. Think about it. Two people can go through the exact same situation. One person gives up. The other becomes stronger. The difference isn't the situation. The difference is the way they think about it. Your mind can either become your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. The good news is that your mind can be trained. Just like your body becomes stronger through exercise, your mind becomes stronger through practice. Nobody is born mentally tough. Nobody enters this world with perfect confidence or complete peace. These qualities are built one decision at a time. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you stay calm instead of reacting with anger, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you keep going when quitting feels easier, your mind becomes stronger. Mental strength isn't built in one big moment. It is built in thousands of small moments that most people never notice. When something goes wrong, pause before reacting. When someone insults you, don't let their words decide your mood. When fear appears, don't automatically believe everything it tells you. The strongest people don't believe every thought that enters their minds. They question it. They observe it. They choose which thoughts deserve their attention. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you never remove the weeds, they will grow everywhere. Soon, they will cover the flowers. Negative thoughts work exactly the same way. If you allow fear, doubt, jealousy, anger, and self-hatred to grow without stopping them, they will eventually take over your life. But if you plant courage, gratitude, patience, discipline, and hope every day, your mind becomes a peaceful place instead of a battlefield. This doesn't happen overnight. There will be days when you feel tired, days when your confidence disappears, days when you question yourself. Those days do not mean you're failing. They simply mean you're human. Being mentally strong doesn't mean never feeling weak. It means refusing to stay weak. Every champion has difficult days. Every successful person has moments of doubt. The difference is, they don't let one bad day become a bad life. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What is this trying to teach me?" That one question changes everything. Because life is always teaching. Sometimes the lesson comes through success. Sometimes it comes through failure. But the people who keep learning are the ones who keep growing. Now think about pain. Nobody wants pain. Nobody wakes up hoping to be rejected, disappointed, or heartbroken. But pain is one of life's greatest teachers. Without pain, many people would never change. Without failure, many people would never improve. Without challenges, many people would never discover how strong they really are. The problem is not pain. The problem is how we respond to it. Some people let pain become permanent. Others let pain become power. Imagine two people losing their jobs on the same day. The first person believes their life is over. They stop trying. They blame everyone. Months pass and nothing changes. The second person feels hurt too. They cry. They worry. They experience fear just like anyone else. But after a while, They ask themselves one simple question: what can I do now? That question changes their future. They learn new skills. They meet new people. They discover opportunities they would have never found if life had stayed comfortable. Years later, they realize losing that job became one of the best things that ever happened. Pain often arrives wearing the mask of disaster. Only later do we realize it was actually preparing us for something greater. Every difficult experience leaves you with two choices: become bitter or become better. You cannot choose what happens to you, but you can always choose who you become because of it. Think back to the hardest moment in your own life. Maybe someone betrayed your trust. Maybe you failed an important exam. Maybe you lost someone you loved. Maybe you were ignored, rejected, or underestimated. At the time, it probably felt impossible to move forward. But look at yourself now. You're still here. You survived. You learned things that comfort could never teach you. Pain has a strange way of revealing your real strength. Gold becomes pure through fire. Diamonds form under pressure. Strong people are built through challenges. If life never tested you, you would never know what you're capable of. The next time life becomes difficult, don't immediately ask for the pain to disappear. Ask for the strength to grow through it, because every challenge carries a hidden gift. Sometimes that gift is patience. Sometimes wisdom. Sometimes confidence. Sometimes a completely new direction in life. The strongest people aren't those who avoided pain. They are the ones who walked through it without losing themselves. Never waste your pain. Learn from it. Grow because of it. Use it as fuel. Every scar carries a lesson. Every failure carries experience. Every disappointment carries wisdom. One day, the pain you're surviving today may become the advice that changes someone else's life. Now let's talk about emotions. Emotions are powerful. They make life beautiful. They allow us to love, laugh, dream, and connect with others. But emotions can also become dangerous if they start controlling every decision we make. Imagine driving a car. Your emotions are like the engine. They provide energy. They move you forward. But your mind is the steering wheel. If the engine controls the steering wheel, the car crashes. Many people spend their lives reacting instead of responding. Someone says one rude word. They explode with anger. Someone ignores their message. They immediately assume the worst. One small mistake happens. They convince themselves they're a failure. This is emotional slavery. Your emotions should inform you. They should never rule you. There is a huge difference between feeling angry and acting angry. There is a difference between feeling afraid and allowing fear to stop your dreams. There is a difference between feeling disappointed and giving up. Mentally strong people still feel every emotion. They simply don't become prisoners of those emotions. When anger comes, they pause. When fear appears, they breathe. When sadness arrives, they allow themselves to feel it without believing it will last forever. They understand one important truth. Feelings are temporary. Decisions create your future. Never make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. One angry moment can destroy a friendship. One emotional reaction can ruin years of hard work. One careless sentence can create regret that lasts for years. That is why learning to pause is one of the greatest superpowers you can develop. A few seconds of silence can save months of pain. When emotions become intense, don't rush. Take a deep breath. Walk away if necessary. Give yourself time to think, because once words leave your mouth, they cannot be taken back. Calm people are not calm because life is easier for them. They are calm because they have trained themselves not to let every situation steal their ruse. Peace. Remember, not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every insult deserves your anger. Sometimes the strongest response is silence. Sometimes walking away requires more courage than fighting. People who constantly seek conflict are often fighting battles inside themselves. You don't have to join every battle you are invited to. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Protect your mind. Your peace is far too valuable to hand over to people who haven't earned it. Imagine carrying a glass of water in your hand. At first, it's easy, but if you keep holding it for hours, your arm starts hurting. The glass didn't become heavier. You simply held onto it for too long. Negative emotions work the same way. Holding on to anger, holding on to guilt, holding on to resentment, holding on to revenge. Eventually, they become too heavy. Forgiveness doesn't always mean the other person deserves another chance. Sometimes forgiveness simply means you deserve peace. Letting go is not weakness. It is freedom. You cannot build a peaceful mind while carrying the weight of yesterday. Every new day is an opportunity to choose differently. Choose patience over panic. Choose courage over fear. Choose growth over excuses. Choose peace over endless conflict. The more often you make these choices, the stronger your mind becomes. One day, people will wonder how you stay so calm during difficult times. They'll think you were born that way, but only you will know the truth. Your calmness was built through practice. Your confidence was built through failure. Your wisdom was built through pain. Your strength was built one decision at a time. And that's the secret most people never discover. Mental strength isn't something you find. It's something you build. Every single day. One thought, one choice, one challenge, one victory at a time. When you master your mind, pain becomes your teacher instead of your enemy. Your emotions become your helpers instead of your masters. And little by little, you become the kind of person who cannot be defeated by temporary problems because your greatest strength no longer comes from the world around you. It comes from the peace and power you've built within yourself. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize something that changes everything. It may happen after a painful breakup. It may happen after losing a job. It may happen after months or even years of stress. One day, you finally understand that you have been fighting battles you were never meant to fight. You have been trying to control people who don't want to change. You have been trying to change the past. You have been trying to predict the future. You have been carrying worries that have never actually happened. And slowly, without realizing it, these invisible battles steal your happiness, your peace, and your energy. The truth is simple. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everything deserves your time. Not everything deserves a place in your mind. One of the greatest signs of mental strength is learning to let go of what you cannot control. This sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest lessons in life. Most people believe that if they think about a problem long enough, they will solve it. So they keep replaying conversations in their minds. They imagine different endings. They wonder what they should have said. They worry about tomorrow before tomorrow even arrives. But worrying is not the same as solving. Thinking endlessly does not always bring answers. Sometimes it only brings exhaustion. Imagine sitting in a rocking chair. You are moving all the time. You are using energy, but you are not going anywhere. That is exactly what overthinking does. It keeps your mind busy without moving your life forward. The strongest people know when to stop. They ask themselves one simple question. Can I do something about this right now? If the answer is yes, they take action. If the answer is no, they stop giving it their peace. Because peace is too valuable to waste on things beyond your control. Think about the weather. No matter how angry you become, the rain will still fall. No matter how much you complain, the seasons will continue to change. Life works the same way. People will misunderstand you. Some opportunities will disappear. Some relationships will end. Some plans will fail. You cannot stop every storm, but you can decide how you walk through it. That decision changes everything. Many people spend years trying to be liked by everyone. They change their personality. They hide who they really are. They stay silent when they should speak. They say yes when they really want to say no. Why? Because they are afraid of disappointing others. But here's the truth. No matter how kind you are, someone will criticize you. No matter how honest you are, someone will doubt you. No matter how hard you work, someone will think it isn't enough. If you spend your whole life chasing everyone's approval, you will lose yourself. Your peace begins the moment you stop needing everyone to understand you. You do not have to explain every decision. You do not have to win every argument. You do not have to prove your worth to people who have already decided not to see it. Sometimes silence protects your peace more than endless explanations ever could. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze it, the faster it slips through your fingers. Life often works that way. The more desperately you try to control everything, the more stressed you become. But when you relax your grip, you discover something surprising. You breathe easier. You think more clearly. You enjoy the present instead of fearing the future. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is understanding reality. It means saying, this is what happened. I may not like it, but I will deal with it. That simple shift gives you back your power. Because energy spent resisting reality is energy you cannot use to improve your future. Every morning you wake up with a limited amount of mental energy. Where will you spend it? On people who don't value you? On mistakes that cannot be changed? On fears that may never happen? Or on building a better version of yourself? The choice is always yours. The people who become mentally unbeatable are careful about where they invest their rink. And we doubt too, because attention is life. Whatever you focus on grows. Focus on problems all day, and life feels heavy. Focus on opportunities, and life begins to open. Focus on gratitude, and suddenly you notice blessings that were always there. Your mind follows your focus. Choose wisely. Now, once you stop wasting energy on things you cannot control, you create space for something much more powerful. Discipline. Many people wait until they feel motivated before taking action. They say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll exercise when I feel ready. I'll work harder when I feel inspired. I'll chase my dreams when I have more confidence. Days become weeks. Weeks become years. Nothing changes. Why? Because motivation is temporary. Some mornings you wake up excited. Some mornings you don't. If your success depends on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline is different. Discipline says, I'll do it whether I feel like it or not. That one sentence separates ordinary people from extraordinary people. Imagine two people with the same dream. Both want to become successful. The first person works only when they feel motivated. The second person works even when they are tired, bored, or discouraged. After 1 year, who do you think has grown more? The answer is obvious. Small actions, repeated every day, always defeat big actions done once in a while. People often underestimate the power of consistency. They want quick results. They want instant success. They plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. But nature doesn't work that way, and neither does life. Every great achievement begins with small daily habits. 1 workout, 1 chapter, 1 hour of focused work, 1 healthy decision, 1 promise kept to yourself. These small actions seem unimportant in the moment, but over time, they completely change your life. Think about a river. It doesn't carve through mountains because it is stronger than rock. It succeeds because it never stops flowing. Consistency beats intensity. Doing a little every day is more powerful than doing a lot once and quitting. The biggest promise you can make is not to other people. It is to yourself. And the biggest mistake is breaking that promise again and again. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, and don't, your confidence becomes weaker. Your mind begins to stop trusting you. But every time you keep your word, even in small things, your confidence grows. Confidence is not built by talking. It is built by keeping promises to yourself. Say you will wake up early. Then do it. Say you will finish your work. Then finish it. Say you will exercise. Then exercise. Each small victory tells your brain, I can trust myself. That is real confidence. Notice something about truly strong people. They don't constantly announce their goals. They don't need everyone's attention. They don't seek applause for every step. They simply keep working. There is something powerful about quiet progress. Trees grow in silence. The sun rises without making noise. The strongest minds don't need to prove themselves every day. They let their actions speak. Silent confidence is different from arrogance. Arrogance says, I'm better than everyone. Confidence says, I don't need to compete with everyone. Arrogance depends on comparison. Confidence depends on character. You stop measuring your life against someone else's. You stop feeling jealous every time someone succeeds. Instead, you become inspired. You realize there is enough success for everyone. Another person's victory does not reduce your chances. Run your own race. Walk your own path. Your journey is different. Your timing is different. Your story is different. Comparison steals joy. Discipline creates it. Every day you choose progress instead of comparison, you become stronger. Now imagine your life as a house. Discipline builds the walls. Patience builds the roof. Kindness fills the rooms. And inner peace becomes the foundation. Without that foundation, everything else eventually collapses. People often believe peace comes after success. They think, once I earn more money, I'll finally be peaceful. Once everyone respects me, I'll be happy. Once life becomes easier, I'll relax. But life doesn't work that way. If your peace depends on perfect circumstances, you will never have peace. There will always be another challenge, another bill, another responsibility, another unexpected problem. Inner peace is not the absence of problems. It is the ability to remain steady while facing them. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is strong. The rain is heavy. Everything around you feels chaotic. Now imagine there is a mountain nearby. The storm hits the mountain too, but the mountain does not run. It does not panic. It stands where it is. Be like that mountain, strong, steady, and unshaken. People may bring negativity into your life. Do not let them bring it into your heart. The world may become loud. Your mind does not have to become loud with it. Sometimes, protecting your peace means saying no. Sometimes, it means leaving unhealthy relationships. Sometimes, it means spending time alone. Being alone is not always loneliness. Sometimes, solitude is where healing begins. When you spend quiet time with yourself, you begin to understand your own thoughts. You stop running from silence. You become comfortable in your own company. And once you enjoy your own company, you stop depending on others to complete you. That is freedom. Real peace is not found by escaping life. It is found by changing the way you experience life. You begin noticing simple things, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of birds, a conversation with someone you love, a deep breath after a stressful day, a quiet evening without rushing. These moments have always been there. You were simply too distracted to notice them. Peace grows through gratitude. Every day, there is something to appreciate. Maybe your day wasn't perfect. Maybe everything didn't go according to plan. But perhaps you learned something. Perhaps you laughed once. Perhaps someone smiled at you. Perhaps you simply survived another difficult day. That is enough to be grateful for. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems. It reminds you that problems are not the whole story. The more grateful you become, the less power negativity has over your mind. One day, people will ask how you stay calm when everything seems to be falling apart. They will think you have a secret. But your secret is actually very simple. You stopped chasing things you could never control. You built discipline, one day at a time. You chose peace over endless drama. You learned that not every battle deserves your energy. You learned that silence is often stronger than shouting. You learned that consistency is stronger than motivation. You learned that your greatest competition is the person you were yesterday. And most importantly, you realized that becoming unbeatable does not mean defeating everyone else. It means refusing to let fear defeat you, refusing to let failure define you, refusing to let anger control you, refusing to let criticism destroy your confidence, refusing to let temporary pain steal permanent joy. Life will continue to test you. There will still be difficult mornings. There will still be disappointments. There will still be people who misunderstand you. But now you are different. Now your strength comes from within. Your peace cannot be bought. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be taken away by someone else's opinion, because you built it yourself. Brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. And that is what makes you truly unbeatable. Not because life became easier, but because you became wiser, calmer, stronger, more disciplined, more patient, more grateful, more peaceful. When you reach that point, you no longer spend your life trying to prove your strength. You simply live it. And that quiet, steady, unshakable way of living becomes the loudest proof of all.